Whoa! It's paranormal. We've got some cool Squier guitars to show you. Stick around, we'll tell you what they're all about. Hey, you're watching Alamo Music TV. My name is Chris McKee.
And I'm Cooper Greenberg.
We're here with Alamo Music Center in San Antonio, Texas. You can find us online at alamomusic.com. If you're new to our channel, make sure to subscribe. We like that. Turn on notifications and like our videos. And if you'd like to support the channel, visit our Teespring store linked below for custom designed t-shirts, like the Stranger Strings shirt that I am wearing here. We have a new version on there that's been redesigned, so make sure to check that very cool shirt out. So we've got, speaking of Stranger Strings, some very spooky paranormal style guitars for you. These are new from Squier by Fender. They are the Paranormal Series. We've got 4 of the 6 here as they are eking their way out into stores. And they are very cool guitars.
Super cool. Yeah, I like them a lot.
Yeah. So let's go through. We're going to talk about each one. We'll kind of go down the specs, and then you are going to play them and let us hear how amazing they are. Let's start with these. I'm going to put probably our favorite one down. We'll save the best for last. So tell us about the one you've got first.
This one right here is the Supersonic. It's pretty funky to even hold.
That kind of describes all of these guitars.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It could be the Supersonic series. It is the Paranormal series. But yeah, kind of everything on this, when I took it out of the box, looked wrong to me. But
Did you hold it the wrong way?
I brought it out, and somebody out there was like, "Oh, it's a little lefty," and I was like, "Nope." But yeah, it's got the reverse headstock. Got a couple.
It's got a reverse body.
Yeah, reverse offset body. A couple humbuckers. Very narrow neck. Kind of funky going on.
Yeah, so it's a 1.5-inch nut width.
Yeah.
So on these guitars, pretty much every typical Fender is 1.685 inches or like 42 millimeters. So it's a narrower nut for sure. How does that feel?
I mean, it feels narrow, feels small, but it's not uncomfortable. You know, you're kind of used to.
Still have enough room.
Yeah, you got enough room. It's very cool. The heel is pretty cool. You know, kind of makes it even easier as you go down. And
Yeah, it's one of the cooler looking heels on any of these guitars, even more expensive Fenders.
Yeah.
Having that kind of rounded profile reminds
with
me of
your
reminds me of another guitar company that I won't say, but theirs starts with a S and maybe an E in music and band. But anyways.
Yeah, no, it's pretty cool. It's got the vintage style tuners, like I think all of these do, and kind of big, so reverse headstock, but the big '70s kind of oversized headstock. It's got this cut, you know. It's comfortable to play, even though it kind of doesn't look like.
It's weird because it's a reverse body, but it's not. I mean, it's got the belly carve on the right side, so they didn't take a body and literally flip it over. It's not a lefty guitar strung right. It is made to just kind of look like this. And it reminds me of a lot of the, there were the Mosrite guitars that were going on in the 60s, 70s, some of the Yamaha guitars that had kind of like this banana look to them, where they had the long horn down low. It's got that really cool funkiness to it.
Kind of surf style.
Yeah, it's very cool.
And the tilt on the bridge humbucker.
And I like that. You know, there's a reason that's done on bridge pickups on like Tellies and Strats, and that is because you're picking up a brighter portion of the bass strings and a kind of mellower portion of the treble strings, and so it balances out really well. It's not common to see it on humbuckers, so it's pretty cool when you do. Yeah, and it's tremolo.
Yeah.
Very cool guitar. I'm strangely digging it. I like the perloid on this color too, and the simple kind of 3-way toggle. You got your volume and tone.
Now, is this one available in a blue as well?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're both metallic kind of colors. It's similar to this, but I think technically it's a different blue color.
Yeah.
But don't quote us on that. Go to our website and see if we're wrong or not. Because we literally just got these in and unboxed them and are trying to show you how excited we are, as we know very little. So you probably know more than we do at this point. This one is a guitar I've loved for a while, actually. This is the Toronado. And it is very cool. It is its an offset guitar like the Supersonic, but it's got its own rounded contours and size. So it's not a Jazz Master or anything like that. It's its own kind of thing. You've got 2 humbuckers, the 3-way toggle, and then the dual volume, dual tone controls like we're used to seeing on Les Paul, for instance. It's also a shorter scale, which is also something that you'd see on Gibson. So it's 24.75 inches. which is basically where Les Pauls are. So I think that when this was originally made, a lot of that was influencing it. And that's one of the reasons I love this guitar. You know, it's really solid. It's got a string through, no tremolo here. So you get a lot of good kind of anchoring of the strings, which leads to good sustain. It looks killer and it sounds really good. The Toronado is available in 2 colors as well. I think it's this blue and a black one. And when it originally came out, we were talking about this. This came out in the late 90s, I think 98. All I remember was being in high school and looking at a musician's friend catalog going, that's a really cool guitar that I can't afford. So I'm thrilled that they've brought back this body shape. And really, that's kind of what's happening with this whole series. It's stuff from Fender's past catalog, some of it older, like this and the Supersonic. I think that came out in the late 90s as well. This Offset, which has been a more recent thing that we're about to look at, it's bringing this all to a lower price point for the Squier brand, but the quality on these is really, really good.
Yeah, I was just kind of feeling this a second ago. We've talked a lot about, like, in our Artisan Tele video and the Ultra videos about the Ultra rolling, and these feel really good.
Yeah, there's no
fret-wise,
no sharp edges.
Yeah.
The necks feel really, really good. The bodies feel really good. There's really nothing that I can see wrong. They sound good, and yeah, they're great out of the box. Let's take a look at these other 2. Like I said, there's 6 total, and we only have 4 of them. The other 2 are a bass, and I think it's a 50 style P bass, and a Thinline Cabronita. So this is a Cabronita, which is basically tele body with P90 or soap bar style pickups. So there's a Thinline version of that, and then there's actually there's 3, and then there's a Cyclone. The Cyclone is very cool. We'll put a picture of it here. There's your Cyclone. The Cyclone is basically a Mustang body with 3 single coils. Very, very cool. We don't have either of those to show you yet because they're still not shipping. You know, given everything that's been going on in the year 2020, they'll get here when they get here, and we'll, of course, film them at that time and show you how cool those are. But in the meantime, we have these. So you've got...
I got the Offset Tele.
We love those guitars.
Yeah. And we had some not too long ago that were made in Japan that are super cool. But this one, I mean, it's a Squier. It looks almost identical. It feels
It basically
great.
is. I think the differences are... So to what Cooper is saying, we did videos and promptly sold out several times over on these guitars. And so they were special editions that Fender did, and they were offset teles made in Japan that had mahogany bodies. And we'll put a link of that right up there for you to see if you'd like to check out that video. This is basically a Squier version of the same guitar, available on a lower price point, and they're using Okume, I think is the way you pronounce that, which is actually very similar to mahogany. So both aesthetically, particularly when you get the transparent finish.
It looks great.
And tonally, it's going to sound very similar to those guitars. Of course, the pickups are a little different. Some of the hardware is different, but at a lower price point, it's really a killer guitar.
Yeah, it's very cool. And I think something cool about the Offset Tele, obviously people love the offset body, but some people might, they might be used to their single coil classic Fender tone and not want to go for like a Jazzmaster pickup, something like that that's a little more mellow. This basically gives you the guts of a Telecaster, but gives you kind of more of an exotic look, let's say, if you're not used to the offset body style.
Yeah, I mean, I think you nailed it. If you like Tele's layout, you like Tele tones, you like that Jekyll Hyde kind of personality that a Tele has, but you also enjoy offset bodies, this is ideal. The thing about the offset body, if you've never had a chance to play with one, is the nature of it allows it to just kind of balance itself.
Yeah.
It sits really comfortably, whether it's on your lap or with a strap. It's really comfortable.
Yeah.
And it looks cool. It gives it a bit more of a different guitar aesthetic that a lot of us dig. Speaking of different guitar style, that's where this really awesome, almost tuxedo-looking black and white Cabronita comes in. So this is the Baritone Cabronita. And we're all already really digging this guitar. We were remarking before we started filming how much we all enjoy baritone guitars.
Yeah.
If you aren't familiar, they're basically tuned down B to B. So it's kind of like capoing, but down 5 frets, if you added 5 frets to the end. So it's a longer scale length. They're heavier gauge strings, and all meant to be tuned down. And I think a Tele body shape is always rock solid. You know, I can go on record. You can bludgeon somebody with a Tele that stays in tune. I mean, they are just really solidly built guitars. And so it works well with this kind of string tension, being, you know, string through body and everything. And then the pickups that they're using here, we love P90s. We've done some videos comparing P90 guitars versus the humbucker equivalent. And these sit really nicely in that in-between between the sparkle and the snap that you'll get from a single coil and that girthier sound that you're going to get from a humbucker. And so these don't sound too dark. If they were humbuckers on a baritone guitar, that may be a problem. Having too much kind of low end and mid-range out of it, because you're getting that from the tuning anyway. But they have just enough of that grittiness to really drive if you want to, and have that kind of high-end, glassy single coil sound that complements the tuning really well.
Yeah, it's very cool. One of my favorites that Fender put out a long time ago was when they did the Offset Cabronita. I think it was called La Baracha. You remember that?
Yes.
And it's really cool because first of all, it was very limited. I never got a chance to play one. I loved how they sounded. But it's cool to have like a Squier version of some of these that maybe you just always saw online, you know, or something that you're like, man, I wish I could play a Cabronita baritone or whatever. And now it's very accessible, great price point. And this one, right when I saw it on the Fender dealer site, I was like, I'm going to get that.
We're like, yes. Yeah, I've heard that from a number of people, particularly Tele fans. The whole setup on it's pretty cool. I like the switch being down here is kind of a neat change too. So anyway, very cool guitars from Fender Squier in this Paranormal series. We're going to put them all through their paces, because they sound dramatically different from one another, just as they look dramatically different from one another. So stick around and watch through the end. So there you have it. Squier's new Paranormal Series. These are fantastic. They're limited in really kind of time frame. So not so much limited in number, although that seems to be everything this year in 2020. Everything's a limited edition just because it's hard to get. But Fender's going to make these for a short period of time. They're only going to be available this year, and then they're going to be gone. We've gotten quite a few of them on order, but as I mentioned earlier with the Cyclone and the Thinline Cabronita and the bass, you know, they're coming in as they can come in, you know, facing all of the challenges we've had so far. But, you know, this kind of highlights a lot of 2020. Despite all of the challenges that have been going on, there seems to be these wonderful little bright light moments of coolness and opportunity and progression and so forth. Yeah. So I'm really excited that Fender's released these. If you'd like more information about these guitars, where can they go?
You can check out our website, alamomusic.com, and you can also subscribe to this channel and turn your notifications on because we'll be making more cool stuff.
Yeah, if you want to see the other 3 that are available in this lineup, you have to subscribe so that you know as soon as those come in, then we do a video, and then you know. So, but seriously, if you go to our website and you want to have any questions on these, the specs are going to be there, but you can also chat live with one of our associates, and they'll help you pick out the right guitar, the right price, with the right financing, make it kind of a perfect fit for whatever you need. That's what we're here for, regardless of however cool, straight, weird, goofy, outlandish, far out the guitar is. The best guitar in the world is
the one that you're making music on right now.
That's it. So we want to help you do that. Make sure you keep coming back, subscribe, give us a thumbs up if you like this video. Ignore the other button if you didn't. Comment below. We'll see you next time.